due to poor performance with Twitch servers. I'm going to test a new setting. OBS. Actually, it's on Twitch, isn't it? I think so. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why, but the connection speed is so low. It's right now 60% of my frames are dropped. That's not always true. It's weird. A recent stream had 0 dropped frames. I honestly don't have any control over it, but I'm going to try this new setting and we'll see. I promise nothing. Instead, well, I do promise something. I promise that there is a game for chat at the bottom of the screen. I promise that the queue is open and bots are ready to play. I promise that the game will log to chat in a noisy fashion. Yes, I promise these things. That's about it. But now we can do art. Last time we did fire, and a small bit of fire would be like an archer had a flaming arrow. It landed inside a tower, and the fire, about that size, fills up the top of the tower. It's about that size. It's larger than a character, but smaller than what I plan to do for Dragonfire. Dragonfire is going to be part of the spell, another spell. What we're going to do today is a meteor, because I want another spell called a meteor shower, and I expect meteors to hit the ground, explode, do damage to structures, and catch things on fire. The small fire can be useful for that as well. So before I go forward with a brand new kind of fire that would lay all over a large portion of the ground, thinking about a repeating texture that idles and has 2 ends on it, and I mean, it's going to be a little bit more involved. Before I go there, though, let's just make a meteor, and then I can implement that spell, and that would be great. In other words, I'm going for an easy win. If this Marauder is used as a guide about the size of our sprite, actually this outline here is the size of a standard sprite. It's the size of a tower, it's the size of a tree, size of the mine. All the sprites are this size. If that's true, I would like a meteor to have an impact site that's around that size, but a meteor is going to have a long tail of fire. A meteor raining down from one side of the screen is... Oh, I just realized I'm probably going to have it go from left to right initially, just like the character is. Okay. The meteor is going to be a ball of fire. That's enough, right? I wouldn't mind if they were different sizes and blah, 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 but I think that's probably a little too much to ask. Let's just do the simple, yeah? You know, if I sketch this out, and yes, sketch this out. Let's take off snap to grid. Okay, good. If I sketch this out, what I'm thinking of is something around that size. Something that has a, flame to it. And a tail. That's kind of what we're talking about. So that's why I'm going for this much larger size. First of all, I'm going to reduce it. But also, I have a feeling some of these spells, like Dragon Strike and meteor shower are going to have sprites that are larger than the normal tile size for sprites. So I'm going to play with it like this size for right now. I probably want to make this a bit oblong. I'm going to show... It's definitely going at a 45-degree angle, definitely. I want to show that it's going fast, so I think that's okay. If it's about this size, actually it could go a lot smaller. Because if it's about this size, then the fire that is like this size will make some sense on an impact site. Yeah, I could go smaller actually. Let's try that. Let's go smaller. Something like this. I do kind of want to make it oval. Something like that could work, right? I kind of need to straighten that out. About that length might actually be okay. And, boy, am I going to actually be this size, though? I'm not. I like this amount of tail, though. What I'm thinking about is I'm going to reduce this, and if I reduce this, of course, it is smaller. So, facto, I probably need to redo this. If I reduce this to the size of a sprite, it's now the size. And I guess that's not terrible, actually. Is it? Question mark. I'm trying to imagine this at scale in the game. Boom, crash, and round, boom. And then the fire is this size. Yeah, actually, this makes some sense. Maybe that's right. Maybe I do go ahead and start at this size and reduce to the size of the sprite. And therefore, this is the size of the meteor. Whoa, how come I can't grab this? So yeah, I think that's okay. I think they all need to come at the same angle. I mean, it's a meteor shower, so they're basically coming from space. Coming in at the same angle, 45 degrees, makes sense. Gives both players enough time to see it before impact. It looks dramatic. Yeah, it's good. So there's two parts to this. One is, meteor flies in from space, hits the ground, or hits a building. It's a character. I don't want to get distracted, but I am thinking about the rules. If it hits the ground, yes, explode, boom. If it hits a tower or a barricade, yes, it needs to explode here instead and go boom. So does the fire sit there up above? I'm not so sure. I guess it could actually cause the fire at the top of the tower. cause fire on the ground otherwise, I think it's fine. And if it hits a character, fire on the ground, yeah. But explode here, sure. And that's the other part. We need to explode. I mean, like, literally, I need an explosion animation, and I haven't done anything like that yet. So, hits the ground, and... Ooh, do I need to do an angled explosion? That would be kind of sweet, actually. Effectively, this sprite probably needs to disappear, and actually that causes an issue as well. Here's the sprite, and it hits a tower, for example, so this disappears, and you see the trail just disappear. That's terrible. The other alternative is just have it keep going. If it hits the ground, have it keep going. I like the idea of the trail being there. I'll tell you what. What if we plan on it just keep going, period. Plan on that and plan on another piece of animation covering up everything else. And that might just be like informing the shape of this explosion, because I not only probably need to have impact and stuff above the ground, I probably need it below as well, just in case this impact is on the top of the tower, edge of a tower, something like that. In other words, I need to kind of cover up the fact that this meteor keeps going down, and if that's true, maybe by then the explosion is out to here. I could tell you, I could fade out the comet pretty quick. Like, fade it out, but fade it out very quickly. And that might be enough. Yeah. I'm going to make this explosion go to the extent of the sprite, for sure. For sure. And I need it to stay close to the edge of the sprite, while still kind of looking organic and not square. Okay. Hey, I'm a professional. So this is going to be two pieces. One is a comet, one is an explosion. Explosion can cover up. So comet's going to fly in. Hello. Comet flies in. You have to do the sound effects. And then hits the ground, and we begin the explosion effect, which is safe to go below the ground. That's fine. I don't care. If that's how it is, that's fine. If it's up in the tower, this is great. Right? We'll use it. In fact, let's take that worst case scenario for a second. Comet came in, hit the top of a tower, and so we go ahead and hit the explosion thing. And I quickly fade this thing out. Even if some of the comet peeks out over here while it's fading out, that's fine. Notice how the size is going to work fine in terms of... Yeah, you know what? If I just fade out in the span, it takes this thing to move half its diagonal length. Okay, it's probably going to inform how fast these comets are going to move too. If I do that, then I'm safe. I definitely want to cover up this coming out the side. So I want it to be faded out by here, but I don't want to lose the tail. Okay. Two pieces. Explosion, comet. Now the or meteor, whatever, I'm going to keep calling it comet on accident. Think about this fire. It's definitely moving in this direction. It's moving back, right? So the meteor is going to be moving forward, and I would love the fire actually stayed in place. Oh, I can't count on that just yet. I'm going to have to eyeball it. Okay, 2 pieces. This and that. No problem. Let me see if I can actually plug in this at the same time. That would just make my life so much better. You know what? Screw off. For real. You know what? Yeah. I'll tell you what. Let me see if I can finagle this to work. Ah, looks like somebody won. It wins. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can actually have 2 things happen. And oh, whoops. I think I just technical things. You know, I'm just trying to make my life easier. I'm just trying to make my life easier, you know? Can't I have nice things? Can't I just... Ooh, maybe? Maybe? Okay, hold on to your hats. No. Nope, we can't have nice things. Nope. Nope. You know, it's happened before. I've been able to work 2 control devices at once, but like I've mentioned before, the setup I'm working with is suboptimal. Okay. So I need to have an idle of this meteor so that it can just travel. And the fire is going back 4 frames. It's probably just fine. And then I'm going to want an explosion with probably more than 4 frames. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So, I suppose I could reclaim this as a guide. with the knowledge that I'm going to make sure this starts at this side and goes here. Can I just get a grid? Oh, no, here we go. Not snapping to the grid. No, good. Okay. So, yeah, being about here sounds about right, actually. All right then. So let's talk about this. I would like it to be a hot core of rock. So there's edges to it for sure. The center of it is going to be effectively glowing. So I'll start with that. We'll go from there. I'm going to do layers. My fire that I did before, it had an edge. In fact, I need those colors, don't I? It had an edge like this. And then there was an interior with a hot core. So yeah, actually, the core is white. Okay. Yeah, down at this. That it needs to extend out to here for sure. I don't like to be so sloppy with it. It is going to be reduced. And it's pixel art. Not to minimize pixel art, but I'm just saying it might be okay. I liked this method of doing it, except I hate this tab. Okay. I need to use this. Oops. Hello. 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 Okay. We'll do it in two parts. This first? No, this first. I think so. comical how difficult this is. I'm just tracing a line for crying out loud. I like this. I don't know what I'm going to do with that core yet, so I'm just going to hold on to that. Let's do this. In the fire that I did before, there was an intermediate color between what I was doing with the core and the edge. I think this might do it. So, like what we did before with the fire, I'm going to test. I'm pretty sure about the colors, the shape, and I believe I have corrected the mistake that I made the previous fire in terms of the animation frames. The idle, these peaks and valleys need to travel back. And I think I just got my frames mixed up. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. It's okay. But I was not happy with how it was turning out. Alright. So now... Oh, hi. It's a huge thing. I'm pleased with where the game is now. 6 weeks. I mean, this is a bit of a game jam speed for me. I had been working on this battle card game, Shuffle Wars, and working on it in a different way. There's no good way to describe it. It's just not the way I'm used to working. And not happy. I was happy to get back to this style, which is art and rules of the game working hand in hand and being developed at the same time. It sounds sort of obvious when you say it like that, but we weren't doing that with Shuffle Wars. So while Shuffle Wars is feature complete and all the code is done, it doesn't look like anything and it makes no sense. I'm spending all my time, well, we're going to spend our time next on Shuffle Wars making it make sense with art and sound. And that's okay. Okay, the way we did the core of the fire before, and it is, frankly, a totally different kind of fire, but whatever. We had bits of white that were visible. This is actually very close to what I want to do with the core of this meteor too. But yeah, actually it is. It's very much like what I want to do. Yeah. Oh, how'd I miss that? So, the core of this, well, kind of needs to look hot. I'll just put it in fill, that's fine. That's fine. And when I do this now, I'm able to blend. Between the hot core and the edge. Yes, sir. That is what we are talking about. Cool. And you're not gonna, I mean, it's gonna be reduced, it's gonna be streaking past the sky, okay, whatever. So, okay. Let's call this, man, that core isn't gonna change much, is it? Not really. I don't mind if the interior of it, isn't it this? It is. Okay, let me just do this then. I'll just reduce. I'm gonna make this idle one. And core is just gonna be on top the whole time. Done. So I just need 4 frames of idle here. No big deal. I am going to do this one step at a time though. With yeah, that looks pretty good. How do I miss these things? How do I miss that? Is it this or is it this? Let's be this. Alright, I'll erode the edge a little bit. That's fine. Okay. Good. I need another outline and a fill for idle 2. Let's keep this here. We're going to use it as a guide. And again, 4 frames. That means that the third one, sorry, the fourth one has to link up with this one. So as much as there's a difference between 3 and 4, there has to be the same difference between 4 and this one, 1. So, easy peasy. Plus, I need this to immediately disappear. This part break off and all that stuff needs to happen as well. As long as it's traveling in this direction, I'm fine with whatever speed it ends up being in relation to the meteor actually flying. I'm going to eyeball it and hope that it comes close. I am concerned about it now, but I don't know if there's much I can do about it. Let's go for it. The outline is this. Correct? Correct. And this means I can go as fast as I want, really. It just has to track. Like, the eye has to be able to read that there is this peak and this valley that kind of move down here some. I'm down with that. If it moves kind of fast, I'm okay with that, you know? And as it starts up, these are wavy. Around here, it is peaks and valleys, and then gets wavy again, sort of. Okay. So I need a valley. Yeah, if I just move this one over to here in 4 frames, I don't know it's fast enough. In 4 frames. 1. Let's just sketch it for a second. 2, 3, 4. See, I don't want to do that because it needs to 2, 3, 4. That's too slow. For me, that there's no way that would be fast enough. So if I did this one's here and then 2, 3, 4. Now I'm buying it, I guess. 2, 3, 4. Something like it goes faster as it's going across the core. So that 1 again is over here. I think that's good. That means that these need to stretch out, which I guess it is kind of doing here. This is getting complicated. It's good though. Going faster means it's further away from the previous frame. Going slower means it's closer. So this part broke off and is now over here. This is almost entirely faded out, so I'm just going to do this. The shape is like here. Something like that. I don't mind if it gets a little thicker, a little thinner. I don't mind if it shimmies and shakes to side as it goes. I don't mind that at all. So, I guess what I'm saying is I'm just going to go for it. We'll see how it goes. I need this. This is so hard to do. I do want to check it. Like you saw me, I caught a couple of spots that were empty. So I need to check it without this white background from time to time. That said, it's impossible to see this lasso tool doing its thing. Oh, did I just... I did. Okay. It really is so bizarre to be looking in one direction and drawing in another. This is like, this doesn't use hardly any of the drawing skill that I would rely on. This is a totally different skill. And it's not helped by the mouse, the tablet that's the size of a postage stamp. Oh, that is really frustrating. All right. Okay. Um, we can be really noisy and messy with this interior. That's okay. Oops. Struggling with these peripherals. It's garbage. I need I need to upgrade. I really do. There's just no way around it. I swear, for Shuffle Wars, this was such a thing. I mean, this is why I wanted to shift gears. I was happy to do it. Doing artwork on this setup is really trying. It's difficult. I don't think I need the grid anymore, do I? I'm going to keep it on, actually. The 45-degree angle is something I need to keep. The grid helps. When this is reduced, a lot of this detail is going to go away. It's just the nature of it. This one's a lot thicker. It's okay. It's also kind of bent. I mean, it's very subtle, but what I'm noticing is a bit of an arc of doing that. I'm going to watch that. In fact, the next 2 frames, I'm going to try and arc the other way if I can. So, if I did my job following the peaks and valleys here, it's going to be difficult to see, but from there to there, I can kind of see it. It's definitely, these go much faster. The ones in the middle go a lot faster, and that's fine, actually. I'm down with that. But it's definitely arcing up, so I'm definitely gonna switch directions a bit in these last 2 frames. And it is thicker, so I'm gonna go thin. Okay. This probably needs to be almost entirely disappeared. Otherwise I'm gonna get confused. Bruh. Yeah, I can see. The problem comes when the next frame actually looks close enough to the position of the previous one that it looks like it's going backwards. Like if I go too fast in the middle here, the danger is that there will be a peak here 1 frame and then here the next frame, which will make it look like it's going backwards. That was the problem I did previously, and I'm going to avoid that. Okay, so this is going faster. This is okay. So really like this. Oops. Oh, I'm sketching in white. Bruh. This, and it goes faster. So that it hooks up. Well, maybe not. to eyeball it. There's no way around it. And I definitely want to arc this way. I want to be thinner, all that stuff. This is gone. This one is small. In fact, I'll start here. Um, darn it. I almost need to, no, I do need to. See, like this will look like it's going backwards. And I need to draw this line in parts, because if I get it wrong, I don't want to have to redraw the whole line. This is that. This is here. Again, drawing it in parts, so I don't have to redraw it, bro. Okay. Better. Better. It's still thick. Yeah, actually, it's still thick. Better. Cool. 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 This is where I need the background. Gosh. It's really just joining this lasso up to the beginning. I can't see it. It's not easy to see. Dude, I'm struggling. I can describe it, but I'm just whining. The angle of my hand is ridiculous. I'm trying to do this fine, fine adjustments to my fingers and draw. It's just so stupid. Oh, this is really hard. There. Now, yeah. So ridiculous. Can't trace a line. Right? Yeah. And so we're at the stage with this game where playtesting is going to be the best thing I can do. In the absence of humans playing the game, I'll settle for the bots and just review bot games on the bod. I've already seen a whole bunch of stuff that's like, oh, right. The more distance I can get from being the guy who's making the game, the better. It is, the goal is some perspective and objectivity. It's hard to do when you are in the middle of making it. And one of the things you can see, I saw, that's right, it's not clear what the commands are for the players. That would be important. It's not clear that, for example, the wizard is on a cooldown and is not available. Things like that. So spending a little time just watching the games is good right now. Whoops, that was the wrong opacity. Okay. Decent. Not fantastic, but decent. I like that broken edge. I haven't been doing that, but I should. All right. Oh, it's like, wait, did I miss something? Oh, I did. Yeah, these go together. Okay. You know, I'm thinking about this. Not just is it animating, the fire is animating along the length of this, but this thing is also going to be moving on screen, so I'm probably safe. I'm talking myself into it just because. I'm worried about the sides looking like the fire's traveling backwards, and I'm worried about that happening at the right speed. And worry is not going to help me at this point. I'm just going to do it. Test it out. All right. I am going to need to... Yeah, it's going to be really hard to see this, but frame 1, 2... Yeah, really hard to see it, actually. 3, yeah, it's really hard. I'm just going to have to go for it. So I'm going to hook up to 1, though, so I kind of need to see 3 and 1. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It can't look like it's going backwards into this pose, you know, on that outline. It needs to come from this one. Okay, riddle me that. How do I display this opacity to help me do that? This is the one I'm going to. It's lighter. Okay. Yeah. In other words, yeah, this is already a problem. I can see it. This is going to look like it's going backwards if I don't totally... My words aren't going to make sense while I think about this. I'm just going to do it. This is a problem for sure. I have to be very careful. What is this other one doing? Okay. I got that. This one I can do. Both have the same problem, though. There is like 2 peaks right here. There's a peak right here. it's going to go to something where a peak is just ahead of it. So it's either moving really slow or there's two peaks right here. So this is a problem. But if I make this frame with none of that in both those places, then it should read. I'm hoping that's true. In other words, this peak can't be here. It's going to go all the way over to here. And that means this little valley has to come from here. Okay. Right then. That's going to help because I need something right here. I need something right here. In fact, if I just trace the valleys first, that might be helpful. From here to here. There's going to be one here as well. Oh, no, it's right on that. Okay, I'll just put it there. Yeah, this is going like that. This is going here. Sorry. This is going here. Okay. Does that work? No. No. This has to come all the way back from here. That's what this is. Okay. I am not sure that's enough peaks. One, two, three. Actually, it is. Okay. This one is way over here. So it's like yep. Okay, tablet, what was that? That's bizarre. Coming from there, right? Meaning it's actually really deep. Okay. And this is coming here. Alley here. Kind of like that. Dirty as hell. Not distinct. And I'm not happy about that. But more important that I hook this up. This needs to hook up. So if this was previous frame. I think we have this. Whoa, 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 whoa. So hooking up from this frame to this frame. We have this. Just about the right shape, I think. Yeah, it's noisy, and that's okay. I'm gonna just go with it. I'm gonna go with it. I will noodle that forever. Instead, I'm just gonna go with it and continue to struggle with the setup. Yeah. I've been treating the spells that the wizard casts as enhancements. Really, it's part of the upgrade system, which is an enhancement. I'm not doing that now. I'm doing it later. Upgrades like, hey, you've upgraded the tree, so now you can spawn an archer. You can recruit an archer now. I don't have that. We're not doing that. But I kind of want to do that. Just not right now. What the... Oh. Cannot believe I just did that. Okay, wait. Can I just... For real. Oh, just frustrating, you know? Okay. here's where I really can't deal with it. So, if I've been treating the wizard spells as enhancements to the features we have on the game, I wouldn't get to them. More importantly, you'd spawn a wizard, you'd recruit a wizard, and wouldn't be able to do much with it. I needed at least 2 spells. So I made Gold Theft and Tree Shield, thinking those might be the most basic. They're all overpowered, but that seemed okay for now. But my thought is, if I have fire, we should do it. We should do another spell. And so, getting these meteors done, to do Meteor Shower. No joke, the spells are really hard because they take art and code and a complete change of some of the rules of the game. In other words, I need to touch systems that are already done. It's always dangerous. That's what makes the wizard spell so cool. Gotta do it. At least with fire, we can reuse that. We're using it here. We're going to use it on the Dragon Strike. We can use it with another upgrade, the flaming arrows on the archers. And I think that's appropriate. Okay. I'm not sure how it looks. Just taking a wild guess that it's okay. Quick sanity check to see if I forgot anything. Boy, I hope that links up and idles well. It's going to be very difficult for me to evaluate that here, but well, the only way to know is to try it out. Cool. The idol of the meteor flying down was the first part of this. The second part was explosion. Boom. So let's do that. I don't think 4 frames is going to do it. I think 6 if I'm lucky. I kind of doubt that that's going to be the case. Okay, explosion. Boom. It needs to cover the whole size of the sprite. It needs to be like, yeah. And to be safe, I need to do it from the center, exactly from the center. So, let's see. Let me think about this. Well, look at this. Um, um, okay. It's going to be an explosion. And I don't mind the frames in the beginning quickly filling up this whole sprite, the whole size of the explosion. I don't mind that at all. Sometimes the impact of an explosion appears bigger if you have a little pause before the big violent blast. In other words, a flare, a very small, well, not very small, a small hot core of a flare in the middle, the explosion first, followed by a full-sized frame explosion, might help. I mean, with animation, the hardest problem with moving fast is getting the viewer's eye to see the motion that you want them to see. We can use stretch frames, we can use shape and pose and things to help the eye see it. But, yeah, okay, let's go for it. I think I know what I want to do. I think it's like this. Explosion. And I'm not sure what the color is yet, actually. I'll start with white, because I have a feeling white's going to be my friend here. Oh, I need my... This setup is so terrible. Okay, so how big is the core? Well, if the full size of this image is one sprite, I think it needs to at least be as big as what the core. And I do want it in the center. It is a flare. This rough sketch will help me see where I'm going with this. It's awful. It's about the right size, though. Because then exploding out to here... Yeah. The second frame I do is going to be helped by these wispy things on the flare. So I'll make them somewhat prominent. Doesn't need to be symmetrical, but I do need to be centered. It is not great, but it is okay for starting out. If I start out there, then what I'm thinking is these longer wispy things be joined. I have to be very careful not to look square. Okay, this is so not where I'm going yet, but it's helping me see where I need to go. Is it though? Okay, in other words, from here to here and then settling here would be fine. Stay within the bounds of the sprite, and it would show a whole lot of speed that like settles actually. And that's 4 frames. I'm gonna have 2 frames to dissipate when fire starts up. I'm down with that. Okay, so these are not the frames, but I will use them as a guide. Okay. I'll bet I need a line and a fill. I'll bet I do. What color am I doing? There's a good reason why I want my friend to help me with color. Okay, let me think about this. If I start with the same colors as the fire, that's not terrible, right? That's not terrible, right? the shape really needs to be almost a straight line because I need to show speed. Of course, this setup is really helpful. I'd love to be able to turn the page and get my hand in a better position to draw a straight line. Whining. Setup is so aggravating. I'm like trying to turn the tablet and that does absolutely nothing. It just screws me up more. Oh, I need to do the thing with, yeah. Yep. All that. Okay. No big deal. Actually, what I need is to be able to justify spending the money. No big deal. You know what? That's going to be a hellish shape to try and do stuff this way. So I am going to do the same colors as fire. Until I decide that's not a good idea. Change my mind. So if I'm using the same colors as fire, goodness, am I off center? Oh, come on. Ugh. I am too. I'm like way off center. Like honestly, get your Shaking my head. It's just so ridiculous. Can't really blame that on anything. Just being ridiculous. Right. There's the center. Have I mentioned this is a terrible setup? I kind of need to get a new setup. Like, these frames don't need to be perfect. They really don't. They're going to be reduced. Goes by quick. It's pixel art. But I mean, just the act of drawing is frustrating. Because I know this is like nowhere near as easy as it should be, as easy as it normally is. Okay, if I continue with this pattern of doing exactly what I do with fire, this is the next step. Now, how much does this make sense? I don't know. Don't know. Like, this is effectively what fire has been doing, but now in explosion shape. I'm not convinced this is enough, frankly, of a hotspot. Right? Frankly, a flare needs this. Wow. I am not sure that's going to work at all. The idea that I might have to just come back and redo this whole thing is real. I might have to come back and do this whole thing. I mean, what I'm banking on is the speed at which this goes by. And wow, I just don't know if that's valid. I think I'm just coping. I think this is going to be awful. I don't know yet. I just don't know yet. I don't. Okay, let's move on. Because I'm going to noodle that forever and still not know. True. Thanks. This second frame, you know what? Wow. Now that I see this, all right. So the initial sketches I'm just going to throw away because they're not going to help at this point. I'm going to wing it with a capital wing. What I need is this has effectively gone this far in one frame, and so that's going to stop real fast. Real fast. Real fast. It's also squishing. So I'm taking each of these peaks as a piece that's going to stop fast and separate. Like this. And now I have my guide for the rest of the drawing. Okay. So let's go ahead and fade this out as a guide. These valleys are likewise going to come way out here. It's filling it up. In fact, I think what I'm doing... I think I'm doing this. Hold on. I think what I'm doing is this. And am I center again? A little, yeah. Don't know how much I can do with that, but... Oh, shoot. I can't... Oh. Okay. Try it again. I'm just struggling. Tool, color, layer. Select all those appropriately, otherwise I'm going to have to go back and do it again. Add to that hand position of the tablet. Whining. Oh my. Okay. Well, it's less off center. Okay, and I'm going to make use of that broken line. Oh, I hope this works. I have no idea. I know I'm doing the right thing in terms of shape and stuff, but how? I just can't tell. I can't tell. I won't be able to tell either. Not till I see it in motion, but I'm pretty sure this is close. Copy, copy, copy. This is one messy edge, that's for sure. Wanted these to separate, so I think I might erode the edge a little bit more when I'm done. Here's what I mean by eroding the edge. These to separate. So work. Oops. Kinda. So, try it again. I'm just lassoing and deleting. I like the lasso tool. One of the coolest techniques. You know, artists far better than I am. Use lasso to do a highlight, like a rim light on a character, like their face. They'll lasso the parts that need to be highlit. Super cool. Yeah, I think I want to do this a little bit more. Yeah. Yep. And we continue with the pattern, but of course, what we have now is a fireball. A blob. What does that look like? Symmetrical on the center, please. Yeah. This is not symmetrical. there's that. What you doing, bro? Better. Cool. Okay. That's true. Um, oops. Whoa. It's comical. It's comical. Imagine my foot somewhere, my arm somewhere else, my head looking one way, my drawing hand doing something else. I mean, it's comical. It is ridiculous. Blob. Well, blob achieved. Now not so stupid. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm totally flying by the seat of my pants at this point. I have no idea how well this will work. But if this, just that, I am missing something here. Oops, what just happened? So I don't want the streaks in the center to look like they went in. That's not helping. Instead, I need them to be part of... Oh, need to be part of something else. If that's where the edge is now... This setup is so garbage. I honestly, I'm just about at the point where I say the reason I can justify buying this extra piece of hardware that makes my life simpler is because it makes my life simpler and I'm not stressed out. That would be, getting stressed out over your hobby, yeah, that's not where it's at. Just need the eye to see the link between these two. So ridiculous. So if I swear to God, so if these streaks come close to matching in the direction and angle, the eye will catch it. Let's go. Oh God, I'm so up a tree with this. It's crazy. It's terrible results. And I would find that wholly unacceptable in all cases. So, there you go. All right. And my idea is that belongs there. Except it sucks. Use this as a guide. Do this again. These 6 frames are going to take a while. They really are. I'm still not convinced this is going to work. I need something because that the previous frame really won't link up here if I don't do this. Wait. Hold on to your butts. This is I will be lucky if this works. Wow. I am not sure at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is garbage. I gotta do it. All right. If this is the first frame, which looks completely inadequate right now, and this is the second frame, which now looks totally screwed up. Let's go to the edge. We need to get to the edge. Got no choice. We could ignore this white. In fact, I'm happy to have the erosion in the center now. That's fine. Outrun that, actually. Again, I'm going to be sad if it ends up looking square. The closer I get to these edges, the more I'm like, yeah. So, round is the idea. Let's try to go round. I do not know. I do not know. This could be horrible. I do not know. Well, let's get a guide. Flip this around. I'll tell you what. I'm not above doing it this way, actually. And then erode it. Oops. Except I'm doing color. Yeah. course, there are going to be some edges that are perfectly round. I'm going to find them and get rid of them. Whoops. I did that entirely backwards. Let's... No. Ah! There. Okay. Really don't mind this edge being completely dirty. That is okay. Now, with the pattern of the fire we've been using, my thought is that this is just mixed. It's not a defined core as much as it is a lot of mix. Let's start with this. And I get really dirty with it here. The pattern I've been using in this game, the art style, has used 3 dots. In pixel art, with a very large initial drawing and then reducing it, 3 dots just ends up blending and being sort of a variant on the main color that I'm doing. So I'm going to do big dots here. Sort of echo that pattern. It's almost a motif. Almost. I mean, if it weren't blended, it would definitely be a motif. Alright, this is dirty. Mission accomplished. Okay. Again, I'm not above doing it this way. Especially since I want it to be symmetrical. You know, I actually want to do this. Yep. Now, is it clean like that? Oh, heck no. Heck nar. In fact, did someone say 3 dots? Yeah, man. This is where it's at. I don't know how much of this clean circled edge I want, but you know, it actually doesn't look terrible. it would look really weird given the rest of the art style, so I'm probably going to have to change that. But, you know, if the way I change it is this, I'm probably okay with it. Yep. In fact, I am okay with that. That's cool. This just needs a little more. And Bob, as they say, it's your uncle. Yes, sir. This is what I mean by now this is like dissipating. There is no defined core anymore. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Kind of wish... When I do a percentage opacity of this, that's fine. But then I go back over it again, and it darkens up part of it, you see. What I really want is that color. Mission accomplished. I have that color. So now, likewise, I'm not above doing this. Yes? Likewise, if I do this with a slight opacity, that's the color. That's the color I got. Yeah. And I have to really think about this because I don't think I can just keep doing fireball like that. In fact, this is now shrunk. So okay. I'm going to keep noodling with this, but I need to actually make a decision. If I am going to erode this, okay, I'm going to just go with it. Frame. If I go from this to this, center's begun to fade out. Okay, here's my plan. For the next three frames, I'm going to dissipate this. Meaning it's no longer about growing, and I'm not going to shrink, so that's not the right motion. I need the erosion to travel from the inside out. For example, dare I do something like this? Something like this. Where, this is really just gone. And if I do that, and if I do that, do I do it from the center? Actually, that's not a terrible idea. Hold on. I mean, maybe it is a terrible idea. These tools are terrible. The tools are not terrible. It's this setup. I'm going to blame everything. Okay, yeah, actually this might be fine. If not, that's an easy fix. I need to move forward. I got 3 frames. to make this entire thing go away. And I can erode it not just from the center, although that would be the biggest. But I can erode it all over. All right. Well, it's basically a circle around the whole frame. Easy enough. I guess I do want to see this as a guide. Effectively, the edge came all the way out here real fast and stopped. So just doing that. Somehow without making it look square, please. Okay. It's not great at all. In fact, I'm not even sure I'm going to use this outline color anymore because it's not going to work very well as I go forward. Right? Hold on. Is this what I'm doing? This might be what I'm doing. I mean, maybe. Wow, that's a tough one. I don't know. Yeah. Um, this might be what I'm doing. It's going to erode from the inside out. It's also going to erode all over the place, and it can also erode on the edges. That's fine, actually. This donut shape might be okay. I'm sure I need to clean this up, or dirty it up, whatever. Because, probably not adequate the way it is. Yeah, I bet if I see this in motion, I'm going to have lots of tweaks I want to do to it. I need to see it in motion. A little aggressive. Um, no, it's not a cheese donut. It's not. But now you can't unsee that idea. These art streams take the longest by far. I do just one thing, but it's... yeah. Technically, animation is multiple things, but the point being, this is why I don't do animation for a living, because I'm too impatient. There's no way I need to do that again. Cool. cool in that I can move on, not that it's cool. It's terrible. I needed to fill a very irregular shape. And aside from the edges, got this. So you see now what I mean by eroding all over, eroding in the middle, and eroding on the edge all at the same time. If that's the only way I'm going to get rid of all this explosion in 3 frames, I have to start somewhere, so I'm going to start here, and then the rest should have something for the eye to understand. Okay. Cool. And if that's what's going on with this color, what is going on with these other colors? That is a good question. A whole lot of dirty stuff, I think. I think that's the answer. Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up. And this should begin to inform the other colors play. This, for example, that's the red and orange, yeah? Something like that. What do I know? Uh, where's the pink? There it is. This is the white and red. Mm. Right. Yeah. I mean, dissipating the explosion, now I have to think about, like, it makes me want to think about smoke. The smoke that has to be here as a residual thing. Totally not thinking about that. I'm gonna keep going forward though. This explosion needs to disappear. I have 2 frames. Um, yeah, I got this. I got this. I'll just do it. I have to get over the fact that I think I got it wrong because I need to move forward. I'll find out if I got him wrong. Don't worry. Oh, we'll see. We'll see how terrible it really is later. In this frame, these are dots now, if anything. In fact, I don't think they're anything. I think these are gone. I think the biggest shapes left over. Yeah, that's true. Take the biggest ones and make them dots. Oops. And now circles. Is that a bad thing? Oh, neuroses. Will you ever learn? So I think this has got to be much wider of an erosion area. So if this is connected at all, it is super loose. Extremely loose. I don't know that it is connected. It won't be bad if it is. I just don't think it is. Okay. Yeah, because this now makes it really easy to go out in one frame. Will it read? Going from that previous frame to this one. I don't know. I only have a few frames to make this happen, so I'm hoping it works. This is not a donut shape anymore. But the things that were there are almost in the same place, so the eye knows what to do with it, I think. We shall see. All this for a frame that's going to hold on the screen for 15 hundredths of a second and be 108 pixels by 108 pixels. Exactly 10% of the screen space. Well, no. Scratch that. About, well, it's less than 5% of the screen space, actually. Yep. Wacky. Wacky. So here's the good question. If I eroded this much, how much of this other color really is there? Oh. And there's other colors too, so what are we talking about? I wonder if this is going to work at all. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the yellow outline. I'm not overthinking it. You're overthinking it. Okay, alright, I've fiddled with this enough. It's ridiculous. Um, well, this doesn't look like much, but that's actually the point. We're about to fade out entirely. Fade. We're gonna dissipate. So it was... Okay. It was this, and then it was this. Oof, that's dramatic. That's dramatic. Is it too much? Is it too much? I'm looking for little holes. It won't be super obvious when we shrink it. Bro, I would just do that. It won't be super obvious when I shrink it. But the problem is any alpha hole will blend alpha. I don't do that at all. Not in the style that we're doing. Okay. That's enough fiddling with that. So, okay. This frame no longer looks good at all. Goodness. Please don't make me go crazy with this. I am going to... I am not happy with it. This frame sucks. I'm not going to be able to fix that. It's just garbage. So, it goes from that to that, and then to this, to that, with some erosion. So that's a pretty dramatic change. More dramatic change. I think we've gone pretty dramatic, actually. That wasn't the point. I hope it's not a problem. In other words, I can finish easy, but like going from that to blank is going to be easy in one frame. I mean, I'm really just making dots. But, now I'm thinking about smoke again. Should I actually do that? See, real easy. Real easy to get out of here. But I mean, almost what's the point if I do this, right? Yeah, almost what's the point if I do that? I mean, it's definitely going out. No problem. In fact, I mean, I don't need any fill at all. If I go backwards from this to that to this, it's dramatic. It's dramatic. And do I want smoke? That's just a thing I have to fade out. I don't know if I want to do that. You know what? I'm just going to do this. I think I'm just doing this. 1, 2, 3. This looks terrible. This is awful. I'm totally upset. Uh, um, here's the problem. Um, um, I think I'm overthinking it. I need to just go with it and try it out and accept that if it's totally wrong, I'll see it. And then I can redo it. And that's fine. It's not great at all, but it's fine. Well, that looks like dirty garbage. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that, but let's do this at least. So, this is totally disappointing, but I think that is actually fading out from here. Yeah. And that fades out from there. Okay. it's going to be hard to see this working properly until I just do it. So let's just do it. I know, that was a lot of hemming and hawing, and man, that took a long time. But the point is, we needed a comet, and we needed, or meteor, and we needed an explosion. I know for a fact. This is going to look big. Look at the size of this explosion. I mean, that's not really the size. This is going to be reduced by half. It's actually going to be more. Yeah. This is actually going to be this size. So that's fine. You know what? That's fine. It's fine. I'm not coping, you're coping. Okay, here it goes. I need to save this. And I'm going to export these frames. Yes, sir. I am. You get to look at the game. I'm doing that. How's the game going? Bit player versus bot player. Get it? These are great names. Uno momento. Por favor. I'm literally just going to export frames and bring them into the game engine, and we'll test it out in a very rudimentary way. 1 second, please. Okay. Not doing anything fun. I'm just saving files. What we're going to do is similar, well, exactly like the process we've been doing for the rest of the pixel art, is we're going to reduce the size of this. Oh, wait. These meteors have a core. I forgot. I use the stylus on the tablet with my left hand. I use mouse with my right hand. And it can take a minute or two for me to adjust what I was doing when I switch. Okay, we have the idle frames done. The explosion. This is called impact. Which I should just call it meteor death. Is what I should do. I don't know how many times I'm going to use the explosion for anything other than the meteor, so I will call it meteor death. And this follows the convention of the rest of the frames that I have. Animation frames for characters, there's idle, there's death, there's spawn. So I stick with that convention, even though it's not a character. Okay. I am nervous about it, not gonna lie. I can actually get a sense of what this is going to look like now that these are frames. Yeah. I can't quite flip through the animation at speed or anything, but yeah. Okay.